Ji, is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just like I have explained that these sales are going to be measured through this model. First you calculate that and then you can apply this. Clear? So it's very simple. I'm going to do another for another data set. This is the another exemplary data set. We are going to do this for this data set. So just moving forward. This is the previous model of calls and sales copy sold. So standard error of estimate can be calculated by using this formula, and you can use this. Okay, just like this is the model calculated, and then you can calculate the standard of estimate. It can be calculated easily y minus y hat over n minus 2, just like you have calculated this this value, and just like if we are going to generate few columns, here you can calculate this na sales.
Sir, excuse me.
Did you please?
सर ये जो लास्ट आपने कैलकुलेट किया था अभी रिकॉर्डिंग से पहले ये दोबारा एक बार कैलकुलेट करते हैं नहीं आ रहा थोड़ा सा
Estimated value.
Yes sir, estimated value.
Okay, let's pause just
Okay,
like removing this. We have already calculated this formula, this regression, right?
Yes sir.
We have the result of this regression. Now we are going to use. If you don't have, very quickly you can generate this one as well. Mean to say, let's suppose
Yes sir, ये मैंने जनरेट करा था.
equal. First you will write intercept, intercept, right? And for intercept, you will identify your y value variable is this one, and comma, and your x variable is this one, right? Just enter, you will get this, and then you will write slope, and in slope again you have these y variables, comma, you have this x variable, bracket close, enter.
Yes sir.
You will get this, right? So just
Yes.
I think is it okay? Exactly same answers we got. So you can use now this equal. Now you have intercept plus slope value multiplied by this sales, because you are calculating on the basis of you have to calculate sales on the basis of calls. So this is the variable you have to incorporate, and then you will get how much sale is going to happen, right? And now you have to make one thing which is more important, and that is you have to fix it. F4 will fix this cell, and then again F4 it will fix this cell, because if you are not going to fix, whenever you are scrolling down, it is going to scroll down here as well, right? So black column is going to be taken. Just like if I'm going to move down, you will get these results, right? Now this model is calculated. These are the estimated value. This is just like y. If you say sales are y, y variable, then this estimated sales are y head. Clear? Y head. Since head sign cannot be used directly, so I used to write estimated y, right? So you have understanding about that. This is estimated y.
Yes sir. So why aren't we taking the values from that yellow part?
These are actually estimated values. Now you don't have actual values available in data. So let's suppose you calculated for 20, you calculated for 80, you calculated for any other value. So you can skip this whole part, or you can keep continue, because these are just like forecasting value.
Okay sir, yes sir.
Actually, you don't have this data.
But you estimated this data
You
that
have
according
so
to
you
the
can
previous trend, this would
actually
happen.
estimate for any number of values which is missing or which in future you are interested in. Okay,
Okay,
just
sir.
like I have shown that this is the uh, standard estimate you have to calculate. So simply you need to calculate
Thank you,
this
sir.
standard error. Very simple. Quickly, I will show it. Just like taking square of both equal. This is the standard error, right? SC. So equal to what? Actual minus estimated value. Take the square because otherwise plus minus values are going to be cancelled with each other. And then you have to actually divide it by the standard divided by degree of freedom. N minus 2 is the degree of freedom in this case. Na? So two variables are there, therefore n minus k is the degree of freedom usually, and two variables k is the two variables. Just like if I may show, n minus 2 is mean how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 is the data, so 8. We are going to divide it by 8. And then you have to take the under root of this whole power 1 by 2. Right, so all the brackets are there, this and this, and another bracket is required here. So now I think number of brackets are filled. Okay, this and this, and so you will get the standard error estimate, right? Now you have standard estimate for all these values, right? So usually we are going to calculate for our actual values because actual values they are estimated values, so you need not to calculate because already they are already estimated values. These are not actual values. So this will give you the same result whatever we are observing here. Sorry, in this case. Clear? So it will give you the total standard error estimates, right? So here you are going to do calculate the sum of this, and then sum of this should be this. So actually you need summation, sum of all the values whatever you have got here, and then you have to divide it by 8. Okay, actually some variation is needed. So just like I'm first apply the formula 8, and then you have to take is unroot. Actually here you are not going to apply this, you are going to take only difference between two values now. So just like this minus this and square, you only need at this point this 2. So enter. You will take all these values here, this will be the sum and will be bold, and then what you need to do, you have after dividing with and degree of freedom, you have to take its unroot, right? 1 by 2, and then you will go this. Our answer is this. Sum of all these values and divided by degree of freedom, and then taking the root. Its answer is 784. Sum of this y and y head square is 784. Okay, what is our answer? Why we are getting different result? Nah? Just like let's check what is the sum of this. Simple equal to sum of all these values. We are getting 322, right? Over sum is varying from that one, right? And probably this happens because we use the fraction as well. Okay, if we are not going to use so much fractional values, probably our difference is going to be reduced, right? Otherwise, I think there is no difference. Maybe some values may not be properly picked here. So kindly recheck the data set if this value which may not be properly incorporated. Anyhow, it's marginal difference. So probably we can sort it out. So we are not going to waste more time sorting out this, but this can be sorted out. There is no issue. Okay, in second case, we are moving ahead. First, you have calculated this standard of estimate and you got this standard of estimate. And then you are going to observe that what actually purpose of the standard of estimate. It shows that how much deviation each data value, original value has with respect to the average line of fit. Clear? Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now we are going to discuss about briefly the assumptions of these linear regression. There are three major assumptions. Number one, y values are normally distributed, right? So it is the assumption that dependent variable values are normally distributed, right? They don't have abnormal distribution or other kind of distribution. And the mean of these normal distribution of y values are lying on the straight line of regression. It can be shown in this way, that just like if suppose you have you have data values and you have this regression line, any kind of line, regression line, right? So data value are spreaded, normally distributed along with that. So let's suppose you are going to have this y value and this x value, right? So the data points are normally distributed, mean they are closer. This is the mean value, right? And this mean value move across this way, right? So you think your data is lying along this line. So data values are lying here and here in this way, right? But the distribution is in such a way that ultimately, whenever you are going to draw your normal distribution curve, right? So your normal distribution curve should lie in this way. Right, in this way. So all the lines, any line you are going to cut, and all these lines are this is the mean value where I'm showing the cross. These are the mean values, right? And they are going to show a particular value of x for every specific value of x, right? There's some data value of y, right? So that kind of relationship is going to be explained in this case. So that is going to be more clear picture here, in which you can understand more effectively, right? If I'm just going to make it big so that you can understand that how all this line is the regression line and all data points are lying across that along these lines, right? So whenever you are going to pick this line, it means most of the data values are lying across across this average line, and it is normally distributed. Yeah, so that is the condition, just like I have shown this. So let's suppose, for your convenience, if I may draw a smart diagram, small diagram, and this is the regression line. Let's suppose the data points are going to be very close. Large quantity of data points are very close to your line, right? And very few are away from this. So this actually shows that most of the data points are close, very close to yes. Or normal distribution mean if you are going to pick a specific area, what is happening, how many values are above average, or so many values are below average, so equally distributed, right? So any place you are going to pick some data, then you are going to observe that values are equally distributed, right? How many values are above average, so many values are below average, right? So that is actually showing the normal distribution, right? Clear? So that creating a balance between both sides. Just like few points, 5 points, 3 points up, 3 points down, 3 points up, 3 points down, 2 points up, 2 points down. Okay? In this way. That actually shows the normal distribution situation. Okay, sorry. Other assumptions. The mean, this is clear, the standard deviation of these normal distributions are equal. This is the standard deviation. Standard deviation means how much values are going to deviate from each other. So just like how much away these points are, how much away from this line on both sides, they are equal across different values of x. So any point you are going to click, just like you are taking this point, or you are taking this point of x, you are taking this point of x, we are taking this point of x. The data points are having equal area or equal standardization with reference to each other, right? On each data point, on each x point, x1, x2, x3, x4. So the y values is having same kind of spread. And third, the y values are statistically independent, mean any value of x, y is not going to be affected in this with respect to x1. That is not going to be dependent on x2, that y values connected with x2 or y values connected with x3. Right? This means that the selection of a sample, the y values chosen for a particular x values do not depend on the y values for any other x values. Right? Let's suppose you are picking the data of sales and prices, right? Sales of some commodity and prices. So different prices are showing different sales. So let's suppose your y is sales and your prices are dependent variable, or in this case, just like the number of calls are dependent variable, independent variable. So how many number of calls are going to be happen? Just like I show it more accurately through this data set, because that is available to us. Number of calls. Just whatever combination exists here, it is independent of this combination. You cannot say it seems now if you multiply it, if you make it double, your sale will become double, right? But if you are going to make it half, your sale should be cut to half. Is it the case?
No, sir.
So
No,
this
sir.
is actually, this shows that there is no interdependence. If let's suppose first case is correct and it is going to be replicated across the board, then interdependence will exist, and that will cause multicollinearity or some kind of autocorrelation, maybe. Means to say variables are interconnected, or their relationship is interconnected. They are interdependent, right? So that kind of situation need not exist. So let's suppose 10 number of 10 and 30 and 10 and 40 totally independent to each other. So whenever you are picking any number of calls, the respective for that calls, how much response is coming in terms of sales is totally independent. Again, you are going to make the same number of calls some other day, and then how much sales you are going to successfully do, right? So that kind of, there is no connection in between. Let's suppose I may give you better idea about this in this way. Let's suppose you are selling through your phone calls, but selling to your friends. So let's suppose you have a lot number of friends, and each friend you are assigning duty to each friend. I called you and now you called to other friends to increase my sale, right? So that is going to be a systematic relationship. In that case, whenever you are going to make one call, the other call is interdependent the previous call. Mean you are not going to touch those colleagues or friends which you have called last time. So in this way, you are going to find your friends, and to an extent, it is interdependent. That kind of interdependence should not exist whenever you are going to apply this formula or regression analysis. Okay, confidence interval, which can be estimated here, they have it given, this whole process is given for estimating your interval, but you just observe by yourself. I'm not going to take more time regarding this interval thing, because usually whenever you are going to do your calculations, you will get these interval values, right? So the upper value and the lower value of this data set is going to be given. So you already have this interval values, right? Okay, upper and lower values at 95% for intercept and 95% for calls, right? So this means you can calculate it by yourself. There is no problem in terms of separately calculating that. So ultimately, what is happening behind the scene, you can observe by observing this slide, that actually this formula is working behind this. And same, you are going to use t statistics, then you are going to apply standard estimated error of estimate, right? Standard errors, and then you are going to apply this value in which you are taking the deviation of each value with respect to its mean square divided by the total sum of square values, right? How much error with respect to mean exists in that data value. So you can use that, and then you can calculate this, all these values step by step, and then ultimately you can find out this value, right? So you can generate this plus minus, and then you can add and you can subtract, and then you can find out upper and this upper and lower limits. So your actual value is going to lie between these two limits. Why we are going to calculate that? Because point estimate is going may be wrong, it may not be correct, but interval estimate is having the probability of becoming correct, right? So it can give you more clear picture about, let's suppose if I may show you this data, the actual value of this slope is 0.486, right? So 0.486 may exist or it may not. Let's suppose actual or exact 100% correct intercept slope is 0.55, 0.55. So let's suppose 0.55 is true value, okay? Is true slope. Let's suppose, but if we compare with this, it is different. So we say this is wrong. You cannot identify correct slope. But if you focus on this interval, this value is lying between this interval. So 0.1462, 0.826, 0.55 is lying in between. So whenever you are mentioning the interval, it means you say 95% I'm confident that the slope value will lie between 0.146 and 0.4826, in between that. So if actual value is 0.55, it will definitely lie within the range and your answer is true, right? So in case of confidence interval, actually it increases the scope of picking the right value with more in a more effective way. Otherwise, this is called point estimate whenever you are focusing only one answer, but this is giving you the range, and the range is going to mention the interval in which that value is going to lie. It is just like you said your friend, I will reach somewhere where you want to meet with your friend at 9 o'clock exactly, or sharply 9 o'clock sharp. So this means exactly at 9 o'clock you should be there. If you are not there, person may wait for 5 minutes and then he may leave. But if you say, I will reach to that particular point within 20 minutes from 8:50 to 9:15 or 9:20, then definitely if you reach at 9:10, still person is there waiting for you. But if you give exact time, then there may be problem. So the same thing applies here. Clear? Okay, just like using the same strategy, we are going to apply another data set. This is the Minitab which has been used. We are not going. Okay, whenever we are going to use some data set which needs some kind of transformation, then we can transform it into different shape, and then a relationship which may not be linear can be converted in non-linear form. Let's suppose this is the data set which is given here, the players and their events, how much winning amount of amount of money they win, and how much score they are going to have. So this is mentioned here, this example. Here on the right, listing of 22 professional golfers, number of events in which they participated, the amount of their winnings, and their mean score in 2004 season. In golf, the objective is to play 18 holes in the least number of strokes. So we would expect that those golfers with the lower mean scores would have the larger winnings, right? So to put it another way, scores and winnings should be inversely related. Your amount will be high if your score is low. Right? In 2004, Tiger Woods players in 19 events earned this much amount and had a mean score this much. Fed couple player in 16 events earned this much and had a mean score this much. The data of the qualifier goal are given as follow, right? So in this way, so you can add these two new persons, and there you can find out how much they have actually earned this much and mean score is this. Okay, already this is given 19.04. Okay, they have mentioned these people who are already mentioned there. Okay, if someone is new is there, and you just find out the new mean score of the person, then you can find out the winning amount. But if you know the winning amount, you can find out the score of the person, right? To this model. So this model is helpful in terms of creating relationship between score and this winning amount. So let's suppose in our case, just like I have already run this one. Let's suppose I have already fitted this data here for your convenience, so just to save the time. So this is the relationship which is going to be observed. Negative relationship is going to be winning amount of winning and the scores, right? How much score they are going to have. So let's suppose if the amount is so much large and the relationship is non-linear, just like it has some kind of variation, it is not clear-cut state. Giving me the warning that 10 minutes are left. Okay, I'm just going to wind up within 10 minutes. So what I did, I just take the log, right? And then this is the log, right? A log of this value. So you just write log and then click this amount and then enter. You will get the log value of this winning amount, right? Now, if we are going to create, let's suppose this relationship calculated with respect to the log value, and just like I'm going to move on this way, then you may have this kind of relationship after taking the log, right? So the relationship, it's not so much non-linear, but still it shows that kind of variation. So previously variations are larger due to the original values, and now variations are squeezed, and now it is very close to the linear curve, straight line. So actually, if you are going to apply straight line on this data set, answers may be more accurate. But if you are going to apply this on a previous data set, I'm just going to show you this data set, where if I'm going to hide it, then you will observe straight line on this data set is not going to give you the more accurate picture, right? Any kind of straight line. So this is the problem. But straight line on log formation is more accurate, giving more closer results. So this means,
Sir, excuse me.
Please.
Sir, why do if we take the log, although we have a more better picture, but at the same time, it's not the true picture, because it's the log value, but not the exact value, and exact value should give the the more true picture. So why should we use the log value rather than the true value?
Okay, first thing is that log value is not going to distort the picture. It is going to just squeeze the variation, but it is not going to disturb the relationship. Or you say ranking of the variables with respect to each other. So that is not going to disturb, number one, right? Therefore, it is just like if you have data is more spread and you are going to put pressure to squeeze and comes closer, then it is just like that you are taking log. Number two, you can take inverse log and you can convert the original form of that data. You will get original form of data. Therefore, log conversion and then reverse log, anti-log, both are giving you the same kind of relationship. Mean whatever non-linear relationship you make linear through log, once you are going to take an anti-log, it will again become non-linear. So after making calculations, you can take anti-log and then you can get the same relationship on this diagram. Clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Now, what you need to do, you have to apply again the same regression analysis on it, because I'm just going to wind up. So I just show that either you can apply again with data analysis technique, you can go for directly. What other technique I have mentioned? I have mentioned to you this other technique. No. Okay, multiple linear regression type of technique. I will show you in the next class, right? Currently, I will just mention again to you that how you can calculate this regression again based on this using this data analysis tool, right? And then you can apply this regression. So have this winning player. You can do one thing in your practice. You can take both of the data set with log and without log, and you calculate both models separately, right? And then we can compare them after taking anti-log, right? First you calculate them and then we will do it. Sorry, I picked the player. I should not pick the player. I should pick the scores. So what is the y value? Score is dependent variable. Score is dependent variable. And then because the score is independent variable and winning amount is dependent variable, right? So winning amount is dependent variable because how much you will win depends upon how much score you have done. So this means it is your y, and then this is your x. Score is your x. Clear? So you calculate that. After this, you just find confidence interval for 5%, right? Anything else you need residual plot, line fit plot, right? Okay. Now you'll get this one. Residual plots are not showing any systematic, and line fit plot, I'm just going to make it broader so that you can find out. This is the predicted winning line. So it is the this line, but actual data is mentioned here, right? So this is the one result. Now you can apply your, this is the one situation, and I'm just going to calculate for second situation whenever I'm going to do this. How much means 5 minutes are there. So quickly I have to do this data regression, and then I'm going to pick y variable different because previously y variable was there. Before that I have to, sorry, first unhide this one. So that variable should be visible. Now go to the data analysis regression. Now this y range is going to change this log y, right? Only this is changed. Other is already given. This is the score. The score into score. Okay. Clear. And then we are going to apply all these things that are already selected. So this is calculated, right? Now you can observe, just giving you the hint or idea. In this case, your line is more closer to the actual data case. And in this case, it is less closer. Clear? you know that this is without taking log. This is your these dotted orange dotted lines points are showing the estimated values, and actual data is blue dots. And in this case, the same thing. The actuals are blue, and estimated or predicted values are orange, right? So this means they are very close. Their least deviation is there in this case, but more deviation is there in this case. Clear? So this is the benefit of, you are going to have better fit equation in case of taking log. Okay. I'm just going to take your
Alright.
attendance so that before closing the class, we should have this one. Okay, Zaid Ahmed,
Present, sir.
Aiza,
Present.
Bilal,
Present.
Tiberia,
Present, sir.
Ibhar David, Mohammed Daud,
Present, sir.
Selina,
Present, sir.
Dhyan Gondal,
Present, sir.
Kashan,
Present, sir.
Tab,
Present, sir.
Present.
Mohammed Aj Khan,
Present.
Rija,
Present, sir.
Khwaja Shoaib, Fatma Tariq,
Present, sir. Sir Khwaja Shoaib.
Fatma Tariq,
Was
Shahzeb Khan, Nida Mumtaz.
Present, sir.
Shahzeb is not here. Okay, less than 1 minute there, so I'm just going to leave, right? Hopefully you will try to do this, and I will share the file and you will do the practice. Okay, thank you so much.
Sir, excuse me.
Ji, please.
Sir, Ibhar is present. He sent text.
Sir,
in
Ibhar
chat.
is present.
Okay, Bhar is present, so I may check.
Yes, sir. Sir, can you
Oh,
share the recording in the group?
Definitely, I will share. I will actually, it's okay. I will try to share on the group. Otherwise, I will upload on the YouTube and share with you the link.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.